We,
Sohnia,
and Jaanuni, are a couple of pals studying science in undergrad. We are not professionals.
though every episode is meticulously researched, mistakes do happen.
If you notice that anything,
And we mean anything.
we state is inaccurate, please let us know.
Your comments, suggestions, and queries are important in furthering our personal and audience's understanding of science.
Thanks for being a part of this discussion.
We appreciate you.
We really do.
Bop bop, beep bop bop.
Hello!
Hey,
It's Jaanuni,
and Sohnia.
and this is Beaker Bros,
Welcome back for another episode.
where we drink out of beakers.
Because we're bros. Clink.
Dink. I had apple juice and Sonia had
A water bottle.
water bottle. Close enough, though.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Anyways.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say how you doing.
I am well. How are you?
It's been a week, but we're doing okay.
I was gonna say, did you enjoy the nice sunny day?
I did. Well, today.
Not today. Yesterday. 2 days ago. This week. There was this one sunny. There's 2 days this week that was really sunny.
Well, when I went outside, it was sunny, so maybe those are the days that you're talking
Yeah.
about. I went on a walk.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it.
Now my next question is,
Uh-huh.
did you wear sunscreen?
No.
Oh.
I have sunscreen, though.
You did?
I didn't wear it.
Oh.
So I guess...
She's like, I had.
I got it, but didn't
But
use
no.
it. Did you wear sunscreen this week?
No, I don't have sunscreen.
And here you are judging me.
But for our viewers, our listeners at home, wondering why the heck are we talking about sunscreen right now?
Well, it's because our episode today, we're talking about sunscreen.
And skin cancer.
Pew, pew, pew.
Sorry, slurp something. Okay, so before we get into it, one article that I found was saying how skin cancer is actually the most frequently occurring cancer in white Caucasians, and they are associated with high rates of morbidity. So the major types of these cancers, so there is, again, if I mispronounce this, my bad, but basal cell carcinoma and squamous cell carcinoma and melanoma. We'll kind of go more into the details about the different types of them.
I have some statistics.
I was going to say, didn't you have,
Yeah.
Go for it.
So, skin cancer is not really a fun fact, but more of a scary fact. Scary fact. Skin cancer is the most common cancer in the world. And melanoma, so the one that, or melanoma, whatever, the one that you just mentioned, is the deadliest form of skin cancer. It is the 7th most common skin cancer, or I'm stuttering. Melanoma is the 7th most common cancer in Canada. And furthermore, diagnosis rates in Canada have more than tripled over the past 30 years, which is a statistic reported by the Melanoma Network of Canada.
Do you know if there's any link to not wearing sunscreen because of that?
It's let me read this here. According to a recent report from Statistics Canada, only 45% of adults wearing sunscreen on their faces, and 38% report. No, that's not a statistics related to what you were saying.
Okay, but that's still a cool fact though. Like you're saying, only 40% wear sunscreen.
45% of adults wear sunscreen on their face, and 38 report applying it all over their bodies.
I was gonna relate back to it how it's actually UV radiation is proven to be a cause for these types of skin cancer, specifically for the common forms of the basal cell carcinoma and the squamous cell carcinoma. Those often appear on the sun-exposed areas of skin. So like you were saying, how people don't wear like sunscreen, quite preventative if you were to wear sunscreen. And these forms of skin cancer are almost always curable, except for the melanoma, which is the one where when UV exposure leads to sunburn, and that like plays a big role in developing melanoma, which is the most dangerous one, like you said.
Yeah.
It's because the UV rays actually damage the skin, which can alter a gene that suppresses the tumors, raising the risk of sun-damaged skin.
What's the gene?
It's CDKN2A.
Oh, okay.
That's the gene, the main like germline thing. But P53 plays a role in it because it's a transcription factor that helps suppress or activate the gene.
Right.
Science.
I tried.
You tried.
I did.
I love it.
Thanks.
Okay. Anyway, so we have those 3 types of cancer.
Yeah. One thing I'm curious about, Jaanuni, what I hear with the sunscreens, right? They got this SPF thing, right?
Yes.
Why are you slurping?
I'm sorry. I was literally like, this is going.
Just like yawning into it. Might as well yell.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay. SPF, you were saying.
Yeah, could you elaborate what that is? Because that's like.
Oh, yes.
Pretty integral to like sunscreen in general, right?
Yeah. So I remember a lot of us going, when we go buying sunscreen, you're like, I'm just gonna get the highest number because that works, right?
Right.
You're not wrong, but you're also not right.
Oh, elaborate.
Okay, so SPF. Let's just start with that.
If I could just like cut you off there, this is an example of why it really sucks that we don't have like visuals right now because your body was just like contorting as you were.
The hand gestures are going crazy.
Explaining, but anyways, continue.
Okay, so SPF it stands for sun protection factor. And that is essentially a measure of how much solar energy, aka UV radiation, is required to produce sunburn on protected skin. Relative to the amount of solar energy required to produce sunburn. Did I just repeat myself? On unprotected skin. Sorry, protected skin versus unprotected skin. So we know that, and then we know how there's been a lot of like discussion of like, oh, so should I get something higher than 30, something higher than 50? Like, how does that work? So, and sunscreen with SPF 30 will protect you from around like 96.7% of UVB rays. And I'll get into what UVB rays is versus UVA rays because there is a distinction between those two. Whereas SPF of 50 means protection from 98% of those rays. Anything really beyond SPF 50, it makes really little, it doesn't make much of a difference in the risk of like preventing sun damage. And there's no sunscreens out there that are actually 100%. So it's like, I'm pretty sure there's ones that are out there like 80 or like 60.
Yeah.
And they're like, what, $5 more? There's no point.
Yeah.
There's no advantage to it.
Save your money.
And if you care about that like 1.3 difference between the SPF 30 versus the SPF 50, then like maybe spill a bit more money on that. But for the most part, there is not much of a difference. But again, anything higher than SPF 50, not going to do any difference. Now, then there's also the added point of, I'll talk about UV radiation before I get into the different types of sunscreen.
Okay.
Because I know I just mentioned UVB, but there's also UVA. So there are two types of UV light that are proven to contribute to the risk of skin cancer. So there's UVA, which has a longer wavelength, and this UV light is actually associated with skin aging, while UVB, which has a shorter wavelength, is actually associated with skin burning. So while they do affect the skin differently, they do still both do harm, where unprotected exposure to UVA and UVB damages this DNA in the skin cells, producing genetic defects or mutations that can, of course, lead to skin cancer.
Fun fact about that.
Yes.
So because of the information that you just presented there, as of 2012, Health Canada has made it mandatory that all sunscreens sold in Canada offer both UVA and UVB protection, also known as broad spectrum protection.
That one is, so the SPF that I mentioned, that is more connected to UVB. So on labels of sunscreen products, you see that's telling you how much the sun's radiation would take to redden your skin when using the product compared to the time without the sunscreen. While UVA is actually connected to the broad spectrum protection you're talking about that you see on the labels of the sunscreen products. So early sunscreens only protected your skin from UVB rays, right? So that's why recently they had to, not recently, like 2012, but they had to change all of that because it was only understood how dangerous because it wasn't understood well how dangerous UVA rays were. So then they started adding these ingredients to help protect from UVB and UVA. But the big difference between them. So, there's the whole how UVB intensity fluctuates. So while the sun rays are strongest and pose the highest risk, late morning to mid-afternoon. You hear that, guys? Late morning to mid-afternoon.
It says from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's particularly dangerous between noon to 12.
Yep. Be careful.
Canada.
So this is for Canadian folks.
Yeah.
From spring to fall, too. We must consider, not just in the summertime. So UVB rays can actually damage your skin year-round, especially at high altitudes or on reflective surfaces like snow.
In the winter. You didn't say winter there.
I said year-round.
There you go.
I said year-round. So UVB rays can be filtered and they don't penetrate glass.
Mm-hmm.
While UVA rays cause tanning, so you know how everyone gets tanned, and it's like, yeah, like there's a safe way, there's no safe way.
No,
of
there's
tanning.
not.
There's no way. There, as much as we love to.
That should be the tagline of the episode in the description. There's no safe way to tan.
No safe.
Period.
Yeah.
Reference.
Thank you. That's the video.
Yep.
Okay, bye guys.
Anyways,
so what's interesting is that for most tanning beds, UVA radiation is the main type of light used.
Mm-hmm.
And while it is less intense than UVB, it penetrates the skin even more deeply, and this causes the genetic damages to the cells that we know that leads to the premature aging and skin cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And UVA accounts for up to 95% of the UV radiation reaching the Earth, while UVB is 5%. And UVA can penetrate windows and cloud cover.
Did you know?
No.
Did
you know?
I keep coming in with my facts. Let me find it. Give it a second. Okay, we can restart it here. Speaking of windows, did you know, in fact, a 2016 paper found that car side windows only block an average of 71% of UVA rays, which the study author said could potentially explain the increased rates in cataracts, left side facial cancers as well, because like the window, like it's not blocked all, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
and UV, the radiation also can cause eye damage,
yeah,
including cataracts and eyelid
Yeah.
cancers. Wow. That's what I'm always wondering. I'm like, okay, so I don't, like in the summertime, I try to avoid the sun because I don't like getting any more tan than I'm already am.
Mm-hmm.
So, like even if we would go outside, whatever, I try to stay in the shade. But then I'm always thinking, I'm like, I'm never outside in direct sunlight.
Yeah.
But I'm always driving.
Yeah.
And there are windows in my car.
Mm-hmm.
They are not tinted in any manner.
Yeah. They're completely see-through.
You can see everything. The facial expressions I make when I'm eating my junior chicken. The hash browns, everything.
Did I ever mention the story about like the Tim Hortons drive-through?
No.
This is an unrelated story. Do we have time to share it?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so speaking of like being see-through
Yeah.
through a window, so a little while ago, Dahlia and I went to Tim Hortons.
Okay.
We went through the drive-through because like we were hungry, we wanted something to eat.
Yeah.
We pull into the drive-through, and like a song comes on, and keep in mind there's also a lot of people in front of us and behind us.
Yeah.
Right? It's a very big lineup. A song called "Tiny Boy" by Vaughn comes on. It is a bop. Like you start grooving. Anyway, so speaking of windows being completely see-through, so we start going. The song comes on. We start doing the wave. Like we're vibing in the car. We start doing the wave for at least like 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay.
We're doing it so long we didn't even realize we passed the ordering like little.
Like, the speaker thing?
Yep, and the funny thing is, like, we probably, like, passed right through it, windows were pulled up. The poor girl at the window was probably trying to speak to us through, like, the little, like, speaker thing, and we just kept going.
Doing the wave.
And the thing is, too, they have cameras, right? That's how they know, like, people
Yeah.
roll up, so they probably just saw us doing the
Doing
wave.
the wave.
Like, these idiots. But, anyways, that's the story about being see-through through the drive window.
Moral of the story, you are not hidden from doing the wave, nor UVA.
No, you're not.
Rays.
That's it. But anyway, sorry.
But yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I mean that's the same thing. Like
Yeah.
the windows, they don't do much, and you may think like direct sunlight, but it can. The UVAs can go through.
It's so like I remember when I was younger too. If I put my arm on the window long enough, or I just fall asleep on it, like that side of my body gets tanned and the other doesn't.
Oh, like even when you're wearing clothes too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's crazy out here. But yeah, so I kind of went into the UV radiation, kind of fun facts. Not fun facts, interesting facts, important facts.
Yeah.
Of what these can do. Basically the main difference is that UVB doesn't penetrate as deeply as UVA, but it can still cause damage on the top layers of your skin. Now, I was gonna say I can go into the types of sunscreen.
The mineral versus the whatever.
Yeah, because we talked about SPF, right? And we know that now in Canada, at least most of the
or all of
the
them
sunscreen
after 2012.
after 2012 now protect you from UVA and UVB.
Broad spectrum.
Broad spectrum. But okay, so there's one difference where, so there is 2 types of sunscreen. I don't know if my fellow listeners have been on TikTok during the summer and they were kind of going crazy over mineral versus chemical, or titanium, zinc oxide. What does any of this mean? Let's be real. I didn't know until today.
Hiram's the one that told me about it.
I was going to say Hiram.
Yep.
Was it Skincare by Hiram?
Yeah.
Sponsor us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember like watching those TikToks, and I was like so confused. And there's like the whole like white cast thing, especially for us fellow
brown folk,
people of color.
Yeah.
So the difference is, okay, so sunscreen is usually a compound that uses agents to block, deflect, or reflect the sun's rays. And with the 2 types, so there's chemical sunscreens, which uses up to like a dozen ingredients that are absorbed in the top layer of the skin. They react with the skin to absorb the UV rays and convert them into energy before they can harm the skin. They aren't as thick as the physical ones, also known as the mineral ones. So they are often used in sunscreen specifically made for the face, as well as those found in the spray bottles. Since chemical sunscreens need to be absorbed into the skin, they must be applied at least 20 to 30 minutes before heading outdoors. Yeah. While physical sunscreens, sometimes called natural or mineral sunscreens, include 2 ingredients. So zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. And together, these ingredients actually just sit on top of the skin and they deflect or reflect the sun's rays. You can really think of this type of sunscreen like a shield, essentially, while chemical sunscreens are more like absorbed into the skin. But they both work to protect you from UVA and UVB. And the only difference, again, I guess, is the texture of it, where the physical sunscreens are more thicker and they cause the white cast. But there was this one article where it kind of said how chemical sunscreen really just protects against UVB more, the burning rays, rather the mineral sunscreen, so the physical sunscreen is much better at blocking UVA.
I think the main comparison that I personally identified, because I think both of them can be like broad spectrum.
They are both, but one's just like a little better than the other,
Yeah, I think another thing that I found was that obviously, like, it's important to speak to a dermatologist or whatever when like looking into sunscreens and like whether or not they cause skin irritation for you. But like if you're someone with sensitive skin, physical sunscreens are typically less likely to cause skin irritation than chemical sunscreens. So that could also be another factor in addition to looking at cast or like whatever else you're looking for. Like
sensitivity and stuff. But those red darker sunscreens might want to go for a chemical sunscreen. But you know what? Here's when it comes to me, okay?
Yeah, okay.
We're going to make this all about me now.
Sure.
Okay.
When is it not?
When is it not? Exactly. This podcast is just about me.
Yeah. Should change the name.
Bika Bro, Bika Jaanuni.
Yeah.
That's it. We'll work on that.
Yeah.
So, I am a woman of color.
Yeah.
We can agree. I also have sensitive skin.
As do I. Yeah. I feel you.
Which one do I use? Which one do I give up? Sensitivity? White cast?
I mean, the white cast normally doesn't last like that long. Like, doesn't it not? Like, after a little while, it sort of like...
Sometimes it just stays there, right? Like, it depends. Because I know, like, especially in the summer when I get a bit more darker, like, you can see the white cast. And it takes, like, maybe an hour or two for it to, like, really absorb. But at that point, it's because it's, like, wiped away.
Right.
Because the sun rays are, like, degrading the sunscreen. That's why do we apply after 2 hours. But, yeah, that's really my experience with sunscreen. I mean, growing up, do you remember, like, the banana boat one?
Yeah.
It smelled so good. But it felt so sticky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said it smelled good, because I'm not the only... Yeah, okay.
It would smell really good.
It generally does smell good.
And I would make my mom buy that one, even though it's, like, maybe a bit more expensive than the other ones.
Yeah. It smells like summer. Like,
it does.
I think whenever I smell it, it's like...
We should just spraying it in the house.
It should be the air freshener.
It should be an air freshener smell, you know?
Put it on the windows.
Yeah.
You know? Protect that broad spectrum, whatever.
You're right. I don't think it works like that, but...
The windows will be protected from the UV.
You're right.
Sure.
Okay.
Anyways.
Do you have anything else to add?
Not particularly. You touched upon a lot of what I had pulled up.
Oh,
so.
lovely.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add?
I spewed all I knew.
Oh, well, there was 20 minutes worth of content and a couple minutes worth of pauses, but that's okay.
It's okay. There was even a moment of you talking about the wave, but that is great.
Yeah, all right.
Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Beaker Bros.
And stay tuned for our next episode.
Bye.
Bye.